Well, hey everybody, here we are. It's Tuesday, day 28, and we're in the second part of John chapter 13. And I feel like this is a moment to just identify the reality that this is Jesus's last night of freedom. From this point forward, we're all in like the last few hours of Jesus's life, as John's telling us this story, and he gives us this behind the scenes into the upper room as Jesus says some shocking things, as he makes shocking predictions about what's to come. He's washed their feet. We talked about that yesterday, and now all of a sudden he exposes Judas. John references himself sitting next to Jesus, and Peter kind of giving him like nonverbal cues to say, hey, who's going to betray him? And so John kind of leans into Jesus's ear, says, hey, who is it? And Jesus says, who I give this to. And then he says, Judas, go do what you need to do. And then there's a word Jesus speaks right after Judas leaves, and John writes it down. And it says, Jesus' words in the red. As soon as the text says, as Judas left, like the door closes, and then Jesus says, now is the time where the Son of Man is glorified. And in two sentences, he says, glory, 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 glory. Now's the time, glory, 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 glory. And you may think, well, what's the word glory mean? And I've always, whenever I talk about glory in a teaching or message, I always think about weight. It's a great way to imagine it, like the glory of God. God is the weightiest being in the universe. And like when you first hold your baby in your hands, right? The glory of that moment, that gift, just hits you, like the weight of it, like you're providing now for this child. You get to be dad, you get to be mom, which also means that you can't live life your way anymore. Like you have to think about caregiving for another little human being. And as much as you prepare the nursery, as much as you prepare, all the stuff that you buy and the excitement of a new baby, when you hold that baby for the first time and you realize their life's in your hands, and that divine responsibility of being mom or dad sits on you, like it's heavy, it's weighty, it's the glory of that new life. And I don't know, that's something I just think about when I think about that moment of Jesus, almost like he says, now it's happening. All the lead up, this is the end of 3 years, now it's happening. And it quickens. The next few chapters is Jesus downloading into the disciples the essential focus of what their life has to look like when he's gone, because it's only a few hours until Judas comes back with the soldiers. And so in those next few verses, one of the things Jesus says, one of the most iconic things he says, is a new command I give you, love one another. Now, it's not like we were never told before this to love, right? Like the concept isn't new. But this idea, the way it's translated in the English, a new command, it's like this idea of uncovering something that's been lost, like revitalizing this idea. And he says, a new command I give you, love one another as I have loved you. So then he frames it, as I've loved you, so you must love one another. And that kind of deepens it, right? Because what do we see in Jesus? Like, what does it mean to be a Christ follower? It means I have to deny myself. And we're living at a time in our culture where it's all about, how dare you ask someone to deny themselves, to deny their urges, to deny the things they want, or the people they want, to deny the life they want to live, or the love they want to share. And the essence of being a follower of Jesus is, no, you'll deny yourself. You'll take up a cross. You'll endure. You'll embrace suffering, because Christ denied himself, right? He was the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and yet he came to earth and didn't demand us to bow, but he served us by laying down his life. He carried a cross. So we deny ourselves, we carry our cross, and then we follow. We follow how he shows us. We're called to follow living how he shows us to live. And here he says we have to follow loving how he shows us to love, where it's not about what I get from someone, but it's about what I'm willing to give for someone. And right after this, what's Peter say? He says, I got to go with you. And Jesus says, oh, really? You want to go? He's like, yeah, I'll die for you. Peter thinks he's ready to give. Jesus knows he's not. I'll give my life for you. And it's almost like Jesus is saying, Peter, you don't need to give your life for me. You need to understand why my death is for you. Like Peter's missing the moment. And then Jesus says, by the time the rooster crows, you'll deny me 3 times. You'll deny that you even know me. Talking about the weight of something hitting you, like what Jesus says happens. And when Peter hears that, it's like, whoa. So as we love people, now as we're going to talk over these next few days, I'll give you a little bit of a hint, but the thing that stuck out to me so far is this idea: we think love is the goal. Love's not the goal. Love's a vehicle, but it's not the goal. So we'll talk about that more in a few days, because I'm already 6 minutes in, and that's a whole other topic. But so do you have an understanding of how Jesus loved you? Because that's how he calls us to love others. He speaks truth to Judas, speaks truth to Peter. It's hard for them to hear. That's a part of him loving them. And part of what it means to be a Jesus follower. If I'm going to follow him, I got to deny myself. And I got to take up my cross. I got to embrace suffering. It's not all about what I want. In fact, I have to put parts of me to death to follow Jesus. In the same way he gave up his life, sacrifice for me. So yeah, there's a lot here, not a lot of verses, but man, glory, 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 the weight of what's happening. The Son of Man laying down his life so we can be restored to him. Just incredible, overwhelming. All right, see you tomorrow.